All right. So, welcome YouTube. This is Beautiful Mind. So, we got this question, and so we're just going to explore. It says, find the exact values of the six trigonometric functions of the given angle. Do not use a calculator. Okay. So, I usually like to look at this as like theta. So, I'm going to say, let this be our theta, right? So, it says, find the six trig functions. So, let's look at sine of a negative 11 pi over 6 first. Now, I'm a fan of doing this in degrees. Something like this, I will convert it to degrees first. And that way I can visualize it a lot better. In radians, I don't usually see it that well. So I'm going to convert this to degrees. So then, if we have a negative 11 pi over 6, I'm going to say times. So I'm going to say times 180 over pi degrees. Okay. So then radians are going to cancel, and then we'll be left with degrees. 180 divided by 6 is what? 30 times 11 is 330, a negative 330 degrees. So now we're really talking about the angle negative 330. Okay. So then if we're on the unit circle, if we're going negative 330, so this is negative 90 here. That's 90. This is negative 180, negative 270. So negative 330 is going to be here. And that means that this reference angle is going to be 30 degrees away from the x-axis in quadrant 1. So we're going to come all the way to here. Okay. So if we're at negative 330, that's the same as 30 degrees. So then if you look at the unit circle, so on the unit circle, this is the 45, 60, that's the 30. The 45 and that's the 60. So then on the unit circle, it just goes like this. Just fill in that first quadrant for the unit circle. All the denominators are 2, right? And then you just count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and take the square roots of all your numerators, and that's the first quadrant. So then whenever we're 30 degrees away from the x-axis, this is our cosine of theta, this is our sine of theta, right? All right. So then sine of a negative 11 pi over 6 is really just, this is the same as sine of 30 degrees, and then sine, it should be a half, a positive 1/2. It's positive 1/2 because we're in quadrant 1, okay? So then if we do cosine of a negative 11 pi over 6, so then we just look at the unit circle. We're in quadrant 1. Cosine of 30 is root 3 over 2. So square root of 3 over 2. So then tan of theta, or instead of theta, let's do tan of negative 11 pi over 6, is just going to be sine over cosine. So that's going to be 1/2 over root 3 by 2. So the 2's cancel, and we'll get root 3 by 3. Okay. So that's our sine and cosine. Sine, cosine, and tan. So now, the co-function that goes with sine is what? Cosecant? Negative 11 pi by 6. Actually, secant. I think I got the co-function terminology mixed up, but anyway. So the reciprocal of sine is going to be cosecant. So all we're doing is taking the reciprocal of our above answer, so that result is going to be 2. And then for secant, we just take the reciprocal of cosine, which is going to be 2 by root 3. You rationalize. Let me see. It's going to be 2 over root 3. But then if you rationalize, multiply the top and bottom by root 3. So then we'll get 2 root 3 over 3. And then for cotan, negative 11 pi over 6. Take the reciprocal of tan, and it'll just be root 3. Okay. So both the x and y's are positive in quadrant 1, so we should be in quadrant 1, and these are the results that I got. Now we could check in the calculator and all that. I have some of the solutions below here. Now it says, let me see, sine of a negative 11 pi over 6 is a half. Cosine is root 3 by 2. Okay, and then so on and so on. So those are the couple of solutions that we have. So this should be pretty good. All right, hope this helps.